Welcome to another episode of Charlotte Unseen Podcast. I got my main man, Aunt Morrow in the building. What up, Aunt? What's going on? What's popping, baby?
What's happening, man?
It's
Good
been
to
a
see
while,
y'all
man.
again. Yeah,
it's been a while, son.
It's been a
I
little
see you
while,
looking
bro.
real righteous today, son.
Man. Hey, I was Mama Love said it like I'm about to do a poetry class or something like that. I said I was going for more of like a fortune teller or something like that. You know, Andre 3000, Amo 3K.
Brother, you look strong.
I appreciate you,
Yeah,
bro.
you look
Appreciate
real
you.
good and
Appreciate
strong. It's good to see you in good health and always welcoming on the podcast, brother,
Absolutely.
my partner. So today we got special guests. We got my man. If you don't know Charlotte, if you don't know the area, if you don't know all the big things that have gone on over the years in Charlotte behind the scenes, that he's been fundamentally in, you in the wrong spaces or in the wrong situation. I got my man Marvin Wilson in the building. How you doing, brother?
Man, good to be
Blessed
here,
to see
bro.
you.
Good to be here, bro.
I'm glad to have you on here, man.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah,
Glad to be here, man.
So Marvin, you know, I've known you from back in the days when I first got to Charlotte, and I was probably running around and acting like I knew everything and didn't know nothing. You know, definitely, I want to introduce you to the podcast, but I gotta introduce you to Charlotte. Yeah. But like, you know, that would be, you know, crazy. So, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Salisbury, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, man, like I was saying earlier, like my mother, she's a Southern Belle. She's from Salisbury.
Nice.
My dad, you know, my pops, you know what I'm saying? He had the Livingstone thing going on. He caught her,
Yeah,
you know, 16, you know. So, but anyway,
Right,
man,
right.
You know, moved around a lot as a kid. And, you know, so, I mean, that just comes with the grind and just being able to see a lot of stuff, man. But went in the military at 17. I'm the only child. So my mother had to sign. They had to find my dad. My dad was in the crack house. I'm giving it real.
That's not
you know what I'm
funny.
saying? I'm a realist,
Yeah.
man. So, you know, I'm the only child. Back then, when you was underage, you had to get, you know, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, what Pop says? I don't know what that thing is. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right. So, but anyway, man, I played football, played basketball, you know what I'm saying?
What position in basketball?
Oh, I played point guard.
You point guard, okay.
Yeah. And I, you know, but I was a little bit better in football than I was basketball.
So what was your position in football?
Man, football, I was the corner, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that too.
You shutting them down.
Shutting down, bro.
That's what's up.
I loved it, but I put some leather on you. I put some.
Talk to me nice.
Yeah. I love that. I love that, man. But anyway, man. But yeah, man. I just went in the military, got around some grown men at an early age, bro. And
so what base did you go through?
I went in the Navy. I went to Orlando, and then from Orlando, I went to Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Oh wow,
Marine
never heard.
down there. You know what I'm saying? And so I was in the South for a while. Then I came back to NOB, and I was in the Virginia Beach area.
Oh yeah, you was.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. During that time, it was like remember J.R. Reed?
J.R. Reed.
Played for the Hornets.
Yeah.
I tell you a wild story. I hung out with J.R. Reed over there in Ballantyne one day with Sleepy Floyd and them.
Yeah.
When they was doing what was that the thing that Fred Whitfield always throws and Michael Jordan throws over there in Ballantyne.
You talking about the golf tournament?
The golf tournament over there. Yeah. I was, okay, talk. My bad.
But no. I mean, but you know, that was just me being young, man, and you know, I could get to the crib in 3 or 4 hours, you know. But that was like my college experience. Yeah. But I was getting paid. I was in the military, making that money, had my own spot. You know, and you know, but wound up got that call, man. Had to go to Desert Storm.
So how was that?
I want to hear about that.
That was like
Desert Storm was like
91, 92.
That's what I thought.
That was like 92, man. Yeah. So that was like, wow, you know. And I was in the desert. You know, people got to understand when I went my first trip over there, because I went twice. I went to Bahrain. So, you know, in the Navy, you know, we don't go on the land. We're sitting out. So we're around the aspects of like Bahrain and those areas. In the fleet, but I've always had to tell my story because the thing is, it's like, yo, man, I know you. You know, I mean, I'm all right, but they like, man, I know you nice with the guns and with the, you know, put a hot. I'm like, nah, man, I was on a destroyer, bro. What's that? Well, we had tomahawk missiles. You know what I'm saying? Like we was blowing up islands and blowing up hundreds of people at a time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and so with that, being able to see that, bro, and being in a war that there was no bullets. There was chemical, you know, people walking in and they just, next thing you know, they slobbing at the mouth, skin, cats coming home, kids, I got one arm because the chemicals got in there. You know, it was a testing war.
Oh, wow.
So we got tested, and, you know, we was around a lot of invisibles, you know, that we didn't, you know, we didn't know we was getting you know, so I came out all right, though. But, I mean, we wore suits and stuff like that. But like I was telling people, it wasn't no bullets.
It was chemicals.
It was just chemicals.
So that was the army. That was the year when Norman Schwarzkopf was in charge in Desert Storm. So it's like, you know, like, so a lot of people don't know, for the youngins, you know, the first experiment was Vietnam with Agent Orange.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right.
So you actually dealt with that in 92.
Yeah, in 92, 93, almost up into, it was like for 2 years. Because I went for 4 months, I came back, then I had to go back for 3 months. I was on the DDG 52, USS Barry.
What's that?
That's a destroyer. Like when you got a fleet, you got the big ship,
right.
With the airplanes can come off of.
Okay.
Then you got the supply ship to keep the food and all that.
Yeah.
And then you got the ships that just blow up shit.
That's
I was on that one.
That's where the weapons at.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you, like, what is it like right before, like minutes before you know you about to send that off, knowing what it's gonna do to people? We at war, so I was
yeah. That's a good question, man, because
what's your mentality? You sweating, or is it like you charged? Like how was that?
I mean, it's like, you know, like, I mean, the way it's so much, man. Like military, United States military is no joke, bro. And I know you hear a lot of stories about, you know, okay, we got Moscow with Russia, China, but bro, I hate to say it, but the United States is like
really like that.
It's like that.
They put their money up, like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, we knew what we was doing maybe 2-3 days before. You have to get mentally prepared, because like we know what we about to do, and you know, whether they know it or not, there's nothing really they can do about it.
Well, you know what's so crazy?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
like a bully.
Right.
You know what's so crazy? 'Cause I've been watching. I have a degree in history, and I've been watching actually for the last 2 days, no lie, the Cold War documentary on Netflix, and just the preparedness of what America had to. Although it dates back from Kennedy and Khrushchev all the way to Boris Yeltsin and Gorbachev, and it's just the preparedness of what the military and what it is. And people don't know the United States has the biggest Navy fleet in the world. In the world. You know, if you look at it, there's no comparison to it.
Nowhere close.
There's no comparison to it.
And what we got more than land? Water.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you know, either way you go. I mean, you know, but yeah, man. I mean, it was a good experience. You know, I learned a lot over there. You know, it was like this. Like, go back to your point, bro. Like, once we let them bad boys off, man. Like, you know, you could sometime hear like, you know, you can hear it, even though we might be like a mile, maybe even 2 miles away. But you could hear voices like, well, when they letting off, bro, you blowing up villages, cities. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't like 2 or 3 people. Like I said, there was no bullets, but there was missiles and chemical biological warfare. But they make a long story short, like within 48 hours, bro, you know, we had to put like on D5 masks and things like that. Like when they say come aboard, that's like when you're going on top of the ship. You know, you can look around, look at the water. You know, during the wartime, you inside. But when we came up, we had to wear a mask, bro. But one, because of the chemicals. But secondly, it was because of the odor. Bro, like for 2 to 3 weeks, bro, the ship, we hearing this stuff hitting the ship all night. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, you look up all around you, bro. You seeing arms, legs, heads, babies, half a body. So this shit, you realizing like, you know, it's a mindfuck because you're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This everything that we blew up is coming our way.
Right.
Body parts.
Because it's short, it's bringing it back.
You know what I'm saying?
What's it like with the, like, my bad.
Yeah.
I gotta ask questions, bro. What's it like? I don't even know if I call it camaraderie, like with the guys when y'all on the ships.
Yeah.
Is it like? I know it ain't like this, but I know it's serious. But what is it like with all the guys?
It's
like
serious, man, because you got some cats, man. You got old timers in there, man. That's like, you know, they cool with you. Like you going out, you having a beer, you're out there. But when they get on the ship, it's like you play ball. It's a whole different person.
right.
Like they really in uniform. Like, you know, and I had to get used to that because I'm like, yo, I was just hanging out with him. And he won't even talk to me. But you got certain cats, man, this is, you know, because you might be out here talking to somebody and you hanging out with them, you know, socially. But when you get on the boat, it's all about chain of command. When, like you might have an E1 enlisted, like when you get in your E1, E2, but then you might be, you know, cool with somebody you was drinking with last night. He might be an E6.
Yeah.
He ain't rocking with you like that on the boat.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? He can't because the accountability of like, because we have to keep ourselves alive.
Yeah.
So Navy, what people got to know, when you go in the Navy, you're gonna have like 2 or 3 jobs. You know, you say, "Oh, this is my MOS. I was in infantry."
Yeah.
I was a chemical biological warfare. I was like a helo rescuer. So when the helos, that's the helicopters, when they would come and bring people back that got injured,
Right.
I had to like spray them down so they wouldn't bring and contaminate us.
Right.
So that was one job. I was also a secretary for the captain. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm up there, like I was a secretary, right? But it was all men. Somebody had to do the admin work.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm just letting you know the dynamics of Navy. You had to wear a few hats. So at the end of the day, the camaraderie would always come down to who you was really around, what you did. Like if you was around people that was like, okay, I spent 4 or 5 hours, he gonna tell you like, man, I'm scared. Like, what about you, man? I'm like, yeah, man, like fuck it, man. We don't even need to talk about it right there. Like, but you wouldn't hear that unless you're around somebody like, and they feel comfortable.
They feel comfortable around.
And either like you got maybe guys that might sleep in your bunk rack. Like we had to like wear like pretty much like seat belts because like you could wake up and the ship might be like this.
Right.
Like we don't fill out the damn bed. So we, you know what I'm saying? So we all like, yo, hey, seat up. Because sometimes we just get in the bed and go to sleep. So we always communicating.
Right.
That's so it's like I want to touch on that because like my at Morgan State, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Lupton, William Lupton. He worked in he was in the Navy, but he was a dean for computer science at Morgan State, and so I want to tell you guys it took a long time to graduate. But you're gonna appreciate this because the Navy man got me through Morgan State University.
Right.
And he always tell you when you first came to class, he said, look, if you're having problems in class, come to me early. And he said, look, don't come to me at the end of the semester when it's time to pass.
Right.
He said, I have power to heal the sick, but I can't raise the dead.
That's real talk right there.
That's a jewel. That's a jewel.
So
and them OGs in there, that's how they rock, man.
So he told me one time when I was trying to graduate, I exhausted all my math requirements. He said, look, Rashawn, when I was on a boat in the Navy, I was stationed down at the bottom. He said, what's at the bottom? He drew a thing. He started drawing a diagram. He said, it's torpedoes. He said, so I'm down at the bottom, and if a missile comes from another ship and hits my ship, I'm where the torpedo's at. So what's gonna happen to me? I'm done.
Right.
Done.
So he asked the captain one day, he said, what I gotta do to get toward a higher level for the ship?
0102.
Right. He said, well, you gotta get your degree and do this, do that. He said, so Rashawn, I worked hard to get away from these torpedoes, start drawing torpedoes to get up on the top of the ship to where, a lot of people. I have a best friend, Casanova Griffin. I haven't seen him in a while. I love him, brother. But like he's in Navy too. They don't know what you guys go through and being deployed for so long.
Right. Yeah.
Out in water, away from your family, and coming back.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trip, man. Like I got to put this out there real quick because a lot of people don't know. I'll be telling my daughter, she's like, oh, y'all got the ugly uniform. I'm like, all right, well, do you know what this for? Nah, you don't know what it's for. I said, all right, so look, check this out. For one, sometimes we be out at sea, like the things what they would do for us. Sometimes, like if put it this way, when we were out at sea more than 90 days at a time, like sometimes we would pull in, but sometimes it's a stretch. We would have sea trials. We out there for 90 days. When we out there for 90 days, you know what would be our reward? They would give us a couple cans of beer.
Damn.
That was like a Navy thing.
Yeah.
Right.
We would sit out there and drink beer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Another thing, the hat. You know the flip hat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That flip hat. That's a floating device. You flip it upside down and put it in your crotch. You can float.
That's
never
crazy.
knew that.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
The big pans, the bell bottom joints.
Yeah.
Tie them up. Those are floating devices. Let water come in through the legs, and you could just sit on them. You know what I'm saying? You could tie it up, put your arms on top of it, and they floating devices, bro. Everything that's really is all intentional with the Navy. Everything is, bro.
Damn. Wow.
Floating devices. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And they taught us, and that's what they taught us when, we went into boot camp, how to use pretty much everything on our body to float. Because this is the thing. I really can't even really swim like that, bro. They like, man, Navy, why are you in the Navy? I said, bro, I was all right. I could get around. I said, well, you tell me this. If you 4,000 or 5,000 miles out in the water, what you think more important? Learn how to float? Because you ain't swimming back.
Yeah, you ain't swimming back
You know
anyway.
what I'm saying? So what you think? I can float my ass off.
Yeah, all night.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really, and I thought that was going to be like a red flag. I'm like, oh, man, I ain't going to get out of boot camp. They was like, you know what? You all right. And it messed me up, but once I really got on the ship, I realized, nah, bro. They want to make sure you can float more so than swim.
Wow.
Because
That's
that's necessary.
Yeah, that's real.
So you're training in the Navy. Are you fundable? How did you put it into your business aspect? And I want you to get into your business aspect and what you've done.
Yeah, man,
definitely.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I got back, man, I worked at the VA for a couple of years in Salisbury. My mother, she retired. She did 40 years at the VA, man. So she's like, come on over here. You're retroactive. I'm like, nah, because I'd seen the world, bro. And put my life on the line. I just couldn't go back to a little small town. I couldn't think big. I couldn't think small like them more because I put my life. I'm like, man, I got to go. So I came up to Charlotte. Big shout out to Gwen Curry. She was a grant writer. She was living. She had a office in the Levine's building downtown. On 9th Street.
Yeah.
And so I was in there, and I was like, yo. So my dad, when he retired from Food Line, I was telling y'all he worked at Food Line. He bought like a couple charter buses.
Okay.
All right. So growing up, he would always pick up like the mega churches, take the people to the beach and shit like that.
Yeah.
But what he wound up doing is he had connected with a homeboy. They got him a job picking up the Hornets back then. Picking them up like the team. The
Hornets.
Yeah. He would pick them up for the away games, picking them up from the airport, bringing them up on the bus. He had a contract.
That's what's up.
So he was hustling. So for me, we talked about that out there. The awareness.
And this is when they was on Tryon.
Yeah, that's when they was on Tavola.
Tavola. I'm sorry, Tavola.
The high.
So
I'm at the seats, and I got good seats. I'm staying. What's that? George Shin. Sitting at that big ass cherry wood table with that big ass ring. He's making deals, and so I was like, yo, man, I wanna. So my first situation, bro, was a celebrity travel agency. In my mind, I wanted to, but at that time, Shaw, I didn't have no damn celebrities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did. Big shout out to Cheryl Girl.
Yeah,
Cheryl Girl. We put her out for her wedding with her and her husband.
Okay.
We did the inauguration for Obama.
Okay.
I had like 9 buses going up there.
Okay.
I was just hustling, man. I was doing what I do. But that's how it ran into, God bless Wayne Davis. That was my mentor. Really a father figure. He came out here from Mesa, Arizona. And boom. I said, who the hell is this moving all that? It's like 10,000 square foot. I was in the building. My office was right beside his. He came outside smoking a cigarette. He's like, man, how you getting all these people in this building, man? I'm like, man, look, he's like, man, I want to talk to you. He offered me a position. It was, and everybody that knows out there, man, the black ticket master of Charlotte, Easy Ticks.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what it was. Anybody in
I
Charlotte,
remember them.
like Easy Ticket. If you bought a ticket, like you know what I'm saying, like we had tickets in No Grease, we had tickets in Doobie shops. Big shout out to Risa with the Doobie shops on Beatty's Ford, No Grease. They were selling our tickets. before DTLR and all that.
For
You know
DTLR.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm giving you some real Charlotte.
And
history.
DTLR is
He's dropping some
Baltimore.
jewels. I
downtown
heard
locker
Cheryl
room.
Girl,
Yeah.
easy tickets.
Yeah,
Like, you going crazy
easy
right now.
No
chicks,
doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, man, because I have to put it out there, man, like, because I have to get people, correct people, man, like, yo, Marv, y'all selling. I'm like, no, don't say we were selling tickets. We wasn't on the block trying to hustle, scalpel tickets. We had convention centers. We had our own ticketing software.
Okay.
You understand? Like, we was in McAllen, Texas on the border, Mexico.
Yeah.
We was in Mesa, Arizona. We was up in Myrtle Beach. We was in the convention centers, and then that's how everything blew up because the biggest part, man, and this is like I said, I wanted to get on here and talk about this because I know this is a big piece. Everybody out here hustling with doing the parties, doing the concerts right now. This is when things change. Because Charlotte is about let's get it right, man.
Right.
Charlotte is hospitals and banks.
And banks.
And nonprofit
Yep.
community. Like entertainment is next. Like let's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So when we came on the scene, Wayne came up. Wayne had a situation when he first got here. He was like, Marv, look, I bought this ticketing company from these Mexican cats. He's like, look, I want to get closer to my mom because Wayne went to Chapel Hill, but his mom wasn't doing well. He wanted to get close to North Carolina. He bought the big office downtown, so we did the bid. We bid it on, at that time, it was Ovens Auditorium.
I know Ovens.
Ovens Auditorium. We bid it on Spectrum.
Okay.
And we bid it on, it was another building, Bojangles.
Bojangles.
And what
So
year was this?
This was like 2008, 9. You know what I'm
Ant,
saying?
Ant wasn't born then.
Yeah, he was.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy. You see how they do me?
Yeah, man. And so that's a story that's it's not really talked about because there's really nobody here to talk about it but me.
Yes.
Wayne died, Steve died. Anybody know about Easy Ticks? Those was the two guys. I was the top salesman, but those was the guys that really founded the business, right?
Okay.
So at the end of the day, they was like, okay, well, we're gonna give y'all opportunity. We bidding against Ticketmaster,
Right.
and these other ticketing companies.
That's huge.
But Wayne thought because we was black, his wife was on the business minority,
Yeah.
so we had the double minority situation. So he was like, listen, we went to the bidding thing. I'll never forget it. There was a couple people that was on the city council did like that. They was like, yo, look, to order the 2 bid, y'all got to bring 1.5 million to the table. We need it in 24 hours.
Wow.
I'm now, sometimes you know who you with.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't know who you with.
Right.
Who
You know
really
what I'm saying?
with
But
you?
this is my people.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, okay. So I said, Wayne, man, what we gonna do? He said, we're gonna do what we do. He called me up like 6 o'clock that next morning. He's like, look, man, meet me down the way, bro. Came back, put the 1.5 mil on the table. Like what? Of course, y'all know. Of course, we didn't get the deal.
Of course.
Politics as usual. But anyway, Charlotte is different, bro. That's all I'm going to get into that. You know what I'm
We
saying?
already
Charlotte is
know. I
different
know what you
because
mean.
if we would have had all 3 of them buildings, being a black company, it'd been over.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? But that would have been making hundreds and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, you can own a ticketing company, but you're not really a ticketing company if you don't have your own venues.
Yeah.
Box offices.
Offices, yeah.
Like,
what was so what's so funny is that like my past business experience, I learned you got people that that want to open up. We talked about it outside.
Yeah.
People want to open up bar. The first thing that everybody come to Charlotte is I want to do a bar, a hookah bar now. It's like a cliche thing or whatever. But the thing is that we all, if you know, we've all been through that. If you don't own that real estate,
Yeah, right.
if you don't own that land.
Yeah.
And it's things like that. Like it's just subtle things like that. Like people are scared to really put their money up to own land.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It sounds like it might sound like cliche-ish or it might even sound like arrogant. Like 20, 30 grand to open a business is cool, but when you're putting up money to have the foundation, so where if the business doesn't work, you still own the land.
You still own the land.
That's what I always say, bro.
You got to get to it. It's a whole different.
It's a
model,
whole
man.
different mindset.
It's a whole different
And
model.
so I want you to talk about that mindset, that Charlotte business mindset.
Yep. So definitely going into the mindset, man. And I'm gonna end it like this. Easy Ticks had a good run. We went up to 2014, 15, fizzled out. Eventbrite took us out.
Now they
wasn't
buy
ready.
y'all. How does that?
No. I mean, it just not to get into the dynamics of what we had as a model, but our culture. You know, I have a phrase now, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But spirit over culture. You can't get too involved in your culture, okay? Because culture is culture. You know, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that.
I agree with you with it.
You got the money is money.
I agree with you with it.
But Eventbrite came in. Why would you have to need hard tickets? That's when everybody could create your own ticket.
Yeah.
Eventbrite. So it took us out. We didn't have enough money to compete. There was the $800 million gorilla. And so we fizzled out. That's what got me to are you fundable and funding credit? Because I was like, yo, because I'm going to tell you something, bro. And I'll say that to anything. And there's no ego on with me. I went to making like a couple $100,000 a year. And I was almost had to go move back in my mom's crib. It was silent. It got quiet. It got mice. People was like, we was the niggas. And we was nothing. You know, nobody was loyal when it come down. When people move. If you ain't ready. You know, it would, and so for me, it was like, I said, oh, okay, wow, I done been through this before. So I said, you know what? The next time I go out there, I'm going to do the preventative maintenance. I'm going to learn, I'm going to learn business. I'm going to learn my personal credit. I'm going to learn business credit. I'm going to learn how these banks work. So that's when I created funding credit at that time. I opened up a joint on Monroe Road. But back then, you know, black people, man, we don't like to talk about credit. You know what I'm saying? We don't like to talk, you know, we don't like to. We don't talk like that in around, like, you know, like we might
talking about money.
But why is that? Why is that?
Mindset.
So you know what? So what I talked about it on the podcast the other day. My family moved from my grandmother's side moved from America's Georgia's to Harlem, and they bought their first house in Harlem with $50,000. But my great grandfather had it stashed on his mattress because back in the days when you was a black person, when you put your money in the banks, they would steal your money. So we didn't trust the banks.
Right.
So the thing is that somehow along the line, I think that mentality still exists to this day.
It still do.
We don't trust credit. We don't trust the banks.
Yeah.
You know, and if you know a lot of stuff behind it, I mean, you get it, but people don't understand too, and you could tell it more. But like credit gets you into a lot more doors than cash.
Man, it saved my
Than
life,
liquid.
bro.
Yeah.
It saved my life, man, because you can't outdo it. This is a capitalistic society.
Yeah.
Everything's built on credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, like when I first, I had to get back out there, man, by like in the next 2 years. But once you done been around, like when we didn't get those buildings, bro, and I'm off that, but we had to go from not looking at Spectrum and Ovens, Auditorium, Bojangles. We had to wind up going to promoters. Big shout out to Adolph. Big shout out to Next Level.
Guys.
D Archery.
Archery,
Diamond.
come on.
I'm saying? We had to go to the promote ones that were out there getting it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, we had to go from those venues to the club.
Yeah.
We had to make money. You know what I'm saying? So we but at the end of the day, man, seeing we writing $300,000-$400,000 checks for CIAA.
I will say about CIAA, and I want to get into this because you mentioned it earlier. To me, CIAA is Charlotte's biggest fumble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On so many levels. It killed Epicenter. I feel like promoters were getting more off of what. Promoters became the people that were making more money, more than the tournament was. That was a problem. And, I just feel like even with it going to Baltimore, it has no reason in Baltimore. I mean, if you know about Charlotte or if you know about North Carolina, it should have been staying in this area. Right. There's nothing like Bowie State. It should not be there. But like, one of the biggest fumbles. But what's your contribution to CIAA? Because a lot of people do not know about you and CIAA and what your relationship is with that.
I've I've seen a few people even on this podcast talk about promotion and parties and things like that. But ain't nobody ever seen 78 million in 3 days, bro.
Talk to me nice.
Ain't nobody ever impacted everybody.
Talk to him.
I mean, everybody.
Talk to him.
I mean, what we had like 300 something events in 3 days, bro. People doing parties on top of fire stations. People had parties and everywhere. We had tickets. We hit the Bank of America. You know, we had the merchandise mart. We had every club. We had the Blake. Remember the Blake? The Blake hold 10,000 people.
The Blake. So for y'all that don't know, so for y'all that don't know, the Blake was where the Sheraton was, where La Meridian is.
La Meridian
before.
is, yeah.
So if you, I'm not even a real Charlotte. I'm not even a Charlottenian, but the Blake was popping.
Man,
Blake was crazy.
Talk to
Listen,
Blake.
man, so we had every hotel that was doing major parties, and that was even over there off of Woodlawn. Remember? We had the Woodlawn. We had P. Diddy. We had it all over the place. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, though, man, when it came down to CIAA, when it came down to Wayne, it came down to making a deal, I actually was at the table. I saw the deal. The deal was Raleigh had got too small. My man Wayne Fratt, he was the AD at Hampton University. He was like, Marv, we're going up to Hampton, man. He's like, listen, I'm about to pitch this deal. You know, we got to bring something back because, like I told you, we didn't get the buildings. CIAA was the saving, you know, that's what put us back on. He went up there, he made the deal. The deal was, for the most part, it's like, listen, man, you know what happened to me at the Spectrum? We didn't get it. Let me get a piece of the rock, man. He said, let me everything that's outside of Spectrum, let me get that. And so we worked the deal out. He's like, so what you know, so give me a proposal. At that end, he hit the keys. And in Wayne, we worked it out because tickets, you can work a lot of deals out with tickets, fees.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. We took care of him.
So are you saying that the money's in fees?
So the money's in fees, but the thing is that the deal was, okay, why should I just give everything to Ticketmaster?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why I know because Ticketmaster had the building, but why would I give you all the parties in CIAA? We had to make that right, so we had to put them in the deal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, you know, I'm not putting it out there to say what, but you know, it was a deal on the table, and it was a deal. So it was something, you know. So at that time, I saw what made CIAA come to show. I was at the table,
Yeah.
and we brought that home, bro. I never forget Wayne had tears coming out because it was like, yo, CIAA is coming to Charlotte, and we got the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he was still on the point. He was like, yo, should I go to Charlotte? Because I'm actually hearing this conversation at the table, like, where are we going to go with this with CIAA? Because they had other options.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What were the other options?
Yeah,
if you
what
don't
was
mind
the
me
other
asking?
cities?
I mean, because it wasn't going to make no sense. I mean, Atlanta was on the table, but DC, I mean, I think it was like somewhere in DC, Baltimore, but it was like, it didn't make any sense because you know the DMV.
Yeah, I know DMV.
But
That's my area.
how many, ain't nobody got as many HBCUs as North Carolina.
None.
Yeah.
None.
What?
Facts.
None.
Let's just say A&T. I'll drop the hat for that.
Yeah.
Central.
Yep.
You know, we can go on and on and on and on and on. So at the end of the day, what got the deal? We got the deal. So what after that, though, Mo? But like, when I say, man, economic impact, I'm talking about, Charlotte have never seen black buying power like that. They ain't never, that's what I said. You talking about fumble. What? You're talking about airports, hotels, restaurants.
Everybody making money.
Businesses. Everybody was making money, you know, and it came in like you know. So what it came its own thing, and the main thing wasn't the main thing anymore. Remember, the game was the main thing.
It was
Wasn't
fun
the
back
Once it
then.
hit Charlotte, and Charlotte was big enough. You know, Raleigh is Raleigh, but come on, when it got to Charlotte, we had promoters. I'll never forget it, man. Once we went up with the tickets, man. Next thing you know, we heard a couple people coming in, a couple local people say, "Yo, all right, well, I got this. I got, you know, we always hold with Kid Capri, stuff like that." Next thing you know, cats from Atlanta coming up. Yo, man, NBA All Stars over with. We about to bring Future.
Right after.
We about to bring. You see what I'm saying? We about to, when Nicki Minaj said, "I ain't doing nothing under 100."
I remember. Listen,
Nicki Minaj said she wasn't going out no more. She wasn't doing no more events under 100 grand.
I remember. Listen, I remember towards one of the last years at LA, I did a party with Cardi B and Peter.
Yeah.
And this was Cardi B was fresh off of the
song.
fresh off of the reality show. And she had dropped the album. She went from being a $5,000, $10,000 feature
Yeah.
to demanding 100,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
100, 200, 300,000.
Yeah.
It was just different. But like, with Charlotte, that was Charlotte staple. You go to All-Star Weekend, fly out, come right back, and you come right back, and you at home, and you got CIAA popping.
Yeah.
It was like you had to brace yourself.
And the
You had to
deal-
brace your
No,
liver.
I remember. It was like 2012. I'll never forget it too, because I had a Benz. I had a 645 Benz waiting on me when I got back to Charlotte.
to me nice.
So I'm on the plane,
Right.
CIAA jumping.
Right.
All the guys like. As soon as we got off the bus, pick me up, I say, take me to the car.
Right.
I say, we didn't even go home. We went to all the parties. Last party we left was, I think we was leaving Onyx.
Ooh.
And I'm talking about, bro, we had a bar. I say, man, I hope this falls like this every year. Bro.
Every year.
We get to come home and go straight to this in my city, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, it was great.
Yeah,
but
man,
it was a fun time. That's when it was really like, it kind of started transitioning to the rappers.
Yeah.
It was really full on with the rappers then.
Yeah. It was just
Before it got out of control. It
like
still was about
like
the
our
game.
own- Yeah, man. It was crazy.
Yeah,
man.
it was. You could see the money in Charlotte. You could feel how much money was coming through.
Yeah, man, and I think that's with Charlotte, man. Them letting that go. I don't know, what happened behind the scene, but once the lady, remember the lady took over, the commissioner,
Yeah.
bro. When she went to South Park, bro, you know what I'm saying, came back.
And it's crazy because I went.
They took her in the South.
Yeah, they try, you know.
when she, I don't know what it was. It was like all we knew. Okay, she's in Charlotte. Oh well, why she's going to South? When she went, and when it came,
And I went. I'm telling you, something, I went
It got a
to
little different.
Morgan State.
Yeah, I remember.
Yo, I'm tell you something. I went to Morgan State, and I'll tell you, like, it has no. I don't care what nobody says. It has no business being in Baltimore. I love my Baltimore family, and Baltimore my second city.
Yeah.
But it has no business being in Baltimore. And I love. Don't get mad at me when I come to Morgan's homecoming this year, but it should not be there. It should be in Charlotte, man. It was just different.
It belongs
It
here.
was just different.
It belongs here.
Yeah.
But to the
It
point,
belongs to Charlotte,
the point you made earlier was a great point that I didn't really think about. Was now that the ACC is like Charlotte now, and then it's a lot more avenues for them to make money in our city.
But that's so. I want to
But
touch
it
on
ain't
that.
about the money with CIAA. It's just us.
But see, I want to touch on that because that's an important.
That was a great point. That
I
was
didn't
real.
wanna go
That's
in-
real.
Yeah.
Was it because it was an HBCU tournament versus ACC? And my thing is that you know where I'm getting because what your man say in the movie? We don't got enough of the crossover bucks.
Yeah.
And I get it. And we have a tendency, when we have our stuff get to a little left sometimes. We know that, but that money that was coming in, it was for the city, and they're making a lot of money off of that.
Yeah.
Now, why is it that versus the ACC? I've seen Charlotte during St. Patty's Day weekend. I seen a dude ride through Tryon. He was half asleep.
Yeah.
Car door open.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my thing is that why are you shutting this down? Because you're saying, it's a faux pas about it, but then that happened. You're still doing St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
St. Patty's is a fool.
It's the same.
Well, the thing is, bro. What based on what my man Morrow he was saying, they brought up a good point. We was talking about it. Like ACC is Charlotte is the hub.
Yeah.
Now we're international money.
You're international money. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yep.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
We got soccer money.
Yeah.
So it ain't like they losing nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, when you start hearing people leave town because it's a certain when CIAA would come in town, people would leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah, they would leave.
It was flight.
You
Yeah,
know,
they would leave.
You know what kind of flight it was too.
People was getting out of here. You know what I'm saying?
That weekend was flight week.
So with the crossover, like we call it salt and pepper. Like you got to make sure this thing's salt and pepper. When it comes to Charlotte, it's not Atlanta.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Will be.
Thank you.
Never
yes,
will be.
We
never.
never will be.
Never will be.
We don't need to be.
I don't
Never
care
will.
who move in Charlotte.
Never will.
Yeah.
Never will be.
You know what I'm saying?
We talked about that earlier outside.
Yep.
It's never going to be Atlanta.
You-
bro.
We don't want
touched-
it to be.
You touched on culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Culture. Explain that what we talked about earlier. Culture. You know.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is for me, man, it's like, I grew up, man, like, of course, that 80, 90 era, you from New York. I had all my family, my dad's people, all of them, they was from the Bronx. Big shout out. They from 176 and Sheridan.
Talk that shit. We shout out blocks.
And
Talk to me
but they
nice.
all, they from, but at the end of the day, man, it's like being a hip hop head, going through wearing my honey weeks with my, having my camouflage,
No
brand Nubian, Wu-Tang.
Shout out to Brand Nubian, man.
As you can see,
Shouts to
man,
Doc.
when you see the old heads now, like you see Jizza, like at Harvard, like now, like you, and they talking to, they talking to white people. We got to understand, like, you can't get caught up in a time and get stuck. Culture, it will get you stuck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say, believe I can black as black can be. Believe me, I'm melanated. I know my, you know what I'm saying. But you got to know what's for you. You know what I'm saying? You getting caught up, cats doing biz and don't want to come home, want to do the same thing. You know that shit ain't working. Like the culture, mine is spirit over culture. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have a legacy for my children. I gotta think bigger than my culture now. Because my culture ain't loyal to, the loyalty ain't there.
Marvin, you hitting on something real. I'm gonna tell you something. Ed, you could chime in on this too.
Gotcha.
I will tell you all day. I watched it today. I was working out. There's a new bar that opened up. I ain't gonna mention the name of it. My boy owns it. Cool. I've watched in Charlotte the same bartenders go to the same spots.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So you're not changing the culture of your business. Everybody is hiring the same people over and over and over again, which means is that all you're doing is bringing that, and some of that energy is not the best energy.
Yeah, right. And that's true, bro. And the thing is, reason why I got into that, bro, and I wanted to step into it, I've always been more spiritual than religious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Explain that. What's the difference?
So with that, man, like if you go to Instagram, everybody that really get down and rock with me, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm always calling my brothers. I'm always telling them, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling brothers every day, I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? No, and I don't have to say no. No disrespect to you. I don't say no homo. No, I love you. It's God to God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love you, bro.
No,
and so when people call me, people follow me, they say Meta Marvin. Meta is beyond the physical. I had that before Facebook. I should have trademarked that shit. You know what I'm saying? But Meta is beyond the physical. So, I'm going getting my going towards getting my doctorate in metaphysics.
Okay.
And so it's really more of a spiritual journey for me. It's a more legacy. It's about me getting with like-minded people. Not my culture.
Yeah.
Like-minded people that I can talk and I ain't got to feel like I'm bragging. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm just talking about life. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm being obedient.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Discipline and being obedient get you places, right?
That's
you know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got people that's gonna come beat you up because maybe you sound different, moving different, you know what I'm saying? So for me, man, like, are you fundable? When I got into the finance, Rashawn, it was like first of all, I went back. I said, man, I gotta help my people. Everybody wanted to get their credit straight. Everybody did that. And soon as when you want to make a move, saying I'm going to go from 50 grand to 200 grand. Not only your money got to change, you got to change. So I wind up getting people money. They drop the bag, come back. Yo, Marv, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I said, what happened? Oh, maybe, all right, so the money kept coming, but they wasn't changing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
So it's getting tough on me. Oh, man. And so I'm getting in disputes. I'm going head to head. Like, yo, man, I'm trying to do everything I am to help you. So when I got into, like during COVID, like what I saw, man, because I just want to say, like, in Charlotte, man, there's never been a black ticketing company, not like Easy Ticks. And when it came down to the finance, and I didn't think of it like that, but I'm like, wow, I ain't seen one. But when I bought the franchise, Lindio Central Charlotte, that's like Linden Tree.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
of course,
definitely.
it ain't that big, but, I had my own market.
The brainchild.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So being able to do mortgages, being able to do lines of credit, being able to do anything that a bank does. So when they consider me as a non-depository bank, but I caught them though, Rashawn, because what I did is in COVID, what I realized, I was like, damn, so nobody with COVID, can't nobody go into the bank. Couldn't nobody go into a physical bank for almost like 18, 19 months, COVID. So, every now and then you can get stuff from online, like I'm gonna apply online, get a card or whatever. But after COVID hit, that's when the whole banking industry changed, bro.
Yeah.
That's when it changed. Social media changed the game because you had to do everything from home.
Yeah.
So people started shopping online, started applying for loans and more online. I mean, the banks are there, but people really wasn't going to the brick and mortars like that no more. So that's why I got into the lending space. Are you fundable? But what I had to learn is, though, bro, when I got into more looking at it from a more spiritual aspect, because, man, I won, I lost. I won, I lost. Then I was helping people to making big money, right? Yeah. And I helped a lot of people, but I wasn't growing. You know what I'm saying? And because once you get around money in a way, man, and you don't have that right mentality, you'll wind up being almost like, because it's almost like you become a shark. Yep. You become like the people you see. You become something that you really don't want to be a part of anymore.
Well, explain that deeply. I mean,
because this is like this, man. Once like I said, being a conscious cat, but you get people money, right? It's like, God, why you put me in a space of that, holding so much accountability? How can I change the narrative? So I'm like, yo, look, man, listen. When I started waking up and I started conscious and I started reading, and I'm like, okay, boom. So I started teaching people. I was like, yo, man, we are the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you chasing the bag? You are the money. What you mean? Well, money is MONEY. My own natural energy yield is what I say. It's how I feel. It's how I move. I'm attract the money. I attract the people, places, and things that wants to do business with me.
I like that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't gotta be out here like, trying to hustle my man and trying to, slow down, bro.
It's so
People
much.
it's a mindset.
Yeah. It's crazy you said that, because when I say like, and I'm still learning this, like, you are your own brand.
Yep.
People don't know what that. I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you walking around, you a walking company, bro. Not just because of the NBA and all that. You know what I'm saying? They like, that's a big part of it. But I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do I leverage that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't read. I mean, you can read books on. Don't get me wrong. But can you break that down? Because you know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I mean.
Definitely.
You walking companies.
You're your own walking billboard. So the thing is what I learned. It's an old Jewish old cat told me one day. He said, Marvin, the thing is, I know you dream big. You dream big. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna do you a favor. I was trying to get a job, some things. I was like, yo, man, what you give me a job? Give me. But he was like, man, I don't want to give you a job. He said, because this is the thing, man. He said, you wanna live like this? He said, let me ask you something. The people that you work for, you'll never live in their neighborhood. You will not live in the same, your boss man, you will live in his neighborhood.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do you a favor, right? I'm going to show you how to, you know what I'm saying? And there's no disrespect for anybody out here, because my mother, my father, they worked hard. People out here got jobs, no big disrespect. But I'm trying, now it's time to start telling our kids, man, jobs are just pretty much just over broke. Because you live in paycheck to paycheck, and it's week. When you say I get paid weekly, to me that's WEAK, not WEEK. Now, God, you can't tell me how much money I'm gonna make every week. How can you tell me how much money I'm gonna make, bro, every week? You can't tell me that. There's no way you can tell me, I'm gonna give you $5,000 a week.
That's a mindset.
Really? You know you worth more than that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a mindset. Yeah, that's a mindset. That's a
You know what I'm
mindset.
saying?
Yeah,
Come on, man. And
yeah.
I tell people, okay, if you got a job, but you know what I'm saying? So, and us as black men, we got to handle our mail a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? We got to go a little bit harder, but we got to get around the right people.
I'm gonna tell you something. One time when I got laid off from one of my jobs or whatever, I'm in tech or whatever, and I was down because I was younger. I was in the mindset, and I'm driving around with Clyde. Man, Clyde, man, I'm in the car with Clyde.
Yeah,
Shout out to Clyde. And so I talked.
Big shout out to Clyde.
Yeah,
Yes,
shout out
sir.
to Clyde.
Yep.
And,
He been on
and I
the
was
show?
and I was in the car with him, and I was like, he said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Man, I just got laid off, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do." He looked at me, you know how he talk. He said, "Good."
Yeah.
Right. That sounds like it.
Yeah, he getting
Now
to
you,
it.
now you can go do your own thing and stop worried about everybody else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Stop relying on
That's
people.
the real.
And that's when I opened Secret Side after that, the cigar bar with Cleanse. But I had to like get out of that mindset.
Yeah.
And you know, and I looked at him, I was like, he was crazy because that guaranteed money meant everything to me.
Yeah.
But I was locked into that mindset.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
tough
saying?
though to get out of
It's
that.
tough to get out of that.
When you've been doing that for so
Yeah.
long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, man. If you wake up every day, man. I mean, sometimes, bro, like, things don't go right. You can lose it all. Wake up with panic attacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm being
Yeah.
real.
Yeah,
bro.
no, it's
You know what I'm
real,
saying?
it's
Cats
real.
just really get to it. They'll tell you, like, yo, like, this is a different walk, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you got to get around, like I said, it's just about the mindset. So I had to start treating myself a little bit more. I had to take it easy on myself because, when
Right.
you're out here and you're moving fast and you, like you say, you're trying to help the culture.
Yeah.
Then, you're moving back into a space that where you're trying to get out of. Like, why are you trying to, like, people want to be in the hood. Like, I ain't want to, nothing against the hood. I still got people living in the hood. I got family living, but I'm not trying to be real in the hood anymore. I thought that's what the hell our whole thing was, trying to get the hell out of the hood.
You
know what
better
I'm
be
saying?
over there doing something positive.
My space is like I always tell people, man. I've always like the hospitality industry. Big shout out to a lot of people. I don't have to put their names out. Have helped a lot of people that have striving business that does very well. But most of them, they have that type of mentality to what I'm talking about. The people that got that long.
Let me ask you a question though. I want to get real with this. If I struggle sometimes with it as I get older because we talked about it outside. I feel like I got to protect my space, my energy, and my peace sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a person to help and assist. I feel, and then as I get older, I'm like I pull back because, like you said, you try to help people that can't help themselves.
Yeah.
Like one thing you touched on earlier was like when you're around certain people, you're telling them to do certain things, or you're trying to help them, but then it's a mind state, and then they come back to you.
Yeah.
I've been through that. I got my credit fixed one time. Went back and I remember my man that fixed my credit. He was like, "Well, if you come back to me again, you're just a dumb motherfucker."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I already helped you out. I showed you what to do.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I had to come back. I had to come back to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But do you feel? Do you get like, I guess like, exhausted
Yeah.
sometimes with like giving people the pathway to do it, and they don't really accept it like they should.
Yeah.
And then you got to go back, and it gets exhausting at times. Have you ever felt that time? Or
Yeah, man. I mean, when I first did it, bro, I was, man, the way I go, I've always grind, man. Anybody know me, four corners, man. I come at everything with everything, man.
Right.
I've always felt like a model of, not just like, when I did the credit, I said the credit, the business credit, and I added the funding. And then after that, I was like, okay, then, I invested in doing, into private banking and doing things, showing people how to move money around, legally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've always looked at it as like a Walmart concept. Everything that I did, even when I was in tickets, I was the hotel dude. When people come to Charlotte, I was travel agency.
Right.
That's that's why Wayne was like, how the hell you got everybody? Because I was the CIAA hotel guy and the ticket guy.
Wow.
At the same time. So what I'm saying is, bro, but when you helping people, man, that's why now we was having a conversation. I'm getting more into like this Wisdom Foundation, into my nonprofit, getting into the community, giving back. Because I had to get away from, and I had to wind up putting people in between me and the masses.
Yeah.
My mentor said, Marvin, you're too accessible.
Yes.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So you're a nice guy. They want to talk to you 30 minutes. They know you got access. They're going to talk your head off. But as soon as you say, okay, yeah, man, hey, it costs this. Oh, man, da. So I had to really get employees and get people. Like when people call me, on my business, you're not going to get me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it out. Big shout out to John. I love you, but you're going to get one of my white boys.
Yeah.
They're going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
You're not going to talk to me.
You know
You know what I'm saying? But if you are going to talk to me, you're going to pay.
But then you know what too? The thing is that when they get the access to you, the thing is what exhausts me is that a lot of people don't want to put the money up. They want to put your money up.
Right.
They want to put your money up. They want to exhaust you and don't want to and don't want to take the risk. And I found that
That's big.
I found that a lot. That's why I pulled back a lot on certain things. Where a lot of people come saying like, yo, I get it.
You got to put your money up, man. And I don't. It's hard for me. Even when that whole time, Rashawn, like, when you talk about people that's being promoters, and I understand that. There's nothing wrong with being a promoter, nothing against promoters, but I really, myself personally, don't really have a conversation for promoters because I'm in the banking. I got my own lending. I want the owner. I like ownership-minded people. You're going to take a risk, put your money up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might fail, but look, you know what I'm saying? Put your money up.
Yeah.
So, like I say, Clyde, all the guys out here, D, I look up to those guys because back then they always, like, regardless of whatever happened, they coming back.
And
I love it, man.
What's so funny is like I've done events with Autry. And I didn't even know who Autry was in my ignorance when I was in Charlotte. Yeah. And he's supposed to be coming on. He's gonna be on here soon. Yeah. But like, and what he's doing right now is huge. He's doing a lot of great things. Yeah. But I've between me to us, I've watched when I came here, I put money up. Yeah. And I watched money get.
Yeah. We all have.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Get thrown aside. And I wasn't, and I'm not in a position to have like millions and millions. Right. My $5,000, my $10,000, my 13 grand, my 20 grand, my 30 grand. It means something.
It means
something. It's gonna hurt me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the one thing that I do realize is that when I put that money up, it did gain me access. And people saw what I put up or what I was doing, and it gave me. It's kind of weird. It gave me that respect to say, okay, fine, I want to sit down. Build our relationship like other people, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't, if I didn't have those experiences of losing or winning, I would never have met you or met Ant.
Right.
And because people watch you from a distance and will see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And this is before I even met Ant. Like I lost some money. You know,
we all them business. You take a risk. You take a risk. You ain't gonna win every one, bro. You got to lose some battles to win the war sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? But
that's a good point.
But I learned from those losses more because I learned. Okay, fine. I'm going to do this different. I'm going to tweak this or tweak that, and I still had to get back out on that baseball field and play. I still had to get back on the base. You know what I mean?
Because them kids don't want to hear that. They hungry. But that's a great point you made, though, Marv. Like that accessibility. Yeah. And I at 39 now, be 40 in a couple weeks. But I wish I knew that at 20. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I was born in 2008, guys. So look, so like I wish I'd have had, like, I mean, hindsight 2020, but I learned a lot of I learned quite a few lessons, and you hit on a lot of points. Yeah. Because, like I said, you're not going to win every battle. You're going to take some L's. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Warren Buffett, I don't care who you are. So it's like, learning from those lessons, and as you get older, you do think like, God damn. When you just said that, it was like I was too accessible. Shout out to Vina Vaughn, my manager. That's who got. You're gonna get the phone call. You're gonna get the email. She gonna get it first. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's when the business really started happening. It's like, oh, he got that going on. Okay, now I'm gonna talk to his manager. She gonna bring it to me. All right, that's cool. Or not. Don't even, if he email again, don't even answer.
Yeah, man. Too
accessible. So but that's very important.
That's big accessibility,
especially like young entrepreneurs. And young business owners, even startups or whatever it is, you hit on some great points in terms of like when you first started, and Rashawn, you too. When it's just like I learned that later. I got like 32, 33 years old. But this is the thing with me. I came in the league at 21 or 22 years old, played 10 years, and when you in the league, you really don't have to do nothing for yourself. You hire those people. And they do a great. You hire the right people around you, and my people did a great job. Ups and downs sometimes, a little. But for the most part,
you was taking care. Yeah, it was straight.
I had to really learn all that shit by myself when I retired. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then you get help. Right. So people don't think about that when they come to athletes, because it's a small group of guys that have like clutch sports. LeBron he probably ain't never had to really have to do nothing.
No.
Now he has a company where they
can do
teach.
it.
They teach.
So like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, this young generation, it ain't no excuses, bro. It ain't no excuses. You could be a millionaire when you're 16 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you can already hire those. I seen the boy in college, got an NIL deal. I forgot his name. He's like the youngest franchise owner of like a Baskin and Robbins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we ain't have nowhere near. We ain't had that kind of access when I was in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't have that kind of knowledge. Like they teaching it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we gotta start from scratch. Shout out to Pac, my people over there. Told you about them. Pro athletic community. I'm
doubt.
learning that at 38, 39 years old.
Yeah.
Which I knew. I wish y'all. I said, where y'all been? They said we only been around 3 years. I needed y'all in 2010. You know what I'm saying? But now you can learn. It's better late than never.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the importance, and that's the beauty of, because you can't never. Education never stops.
Yeah.
Knowledge is always going to be key.
Yeah.
So I love that. But that was great points, man. I had to elaborate on that, man, with y'all.
Yo, this is great. So like, and both of y'all, I want to ask both of y'all this question, but Marvin, I want to ask you, and Ant, you can chime in on it.
All right.
Definitely. What's your message to young entrepreneurs or young people out there that's trying to further their business, and even trying to get in a little bit of the space that you're in? You know,
I mean, for me, man, I would definitely just say, man, first, whatever you're at, whatever you're doing, people looking at the social media, be on the gram. But I mean, for me, I just always keep it simple, man. Like I told my mentees, even my nonprofit, I said, man, you got to know something about yourself. What do you love to do? You know what I'm saying? What type of personality? You funny? You know what I'm saying? If whatever you're doing, let it be that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be a degree. You know what I'm saying? You might can go get a certificate. But whatever you're good at, do it, kill it. And I would say, but at the end of the day, go to these conferences, put money up, get serious, make your life a business, man. Because a lot of times there's nothing wrong with going out, going to parties, the girls and all that other stuff, but man, you gotta sometimes realize you gotta level up and say, okay, what am I here for? And once you get to that purpose and you really get adamant about, okay, this is what I'm on, this is what I'm gonna do. When you do it, and I tell you, anybody tell you that's done took things to the next level, you're gonna have some bad days.
Absolutely.
It ain't gonna look right, but you gotta be consistent.
Discipline and consistency.
Once you get through that, and it hits you another time, you're like, oh, you know what? It didn't hit me. It didn't feel that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're just going to get better and better and better, man. With the ticketing game, it took us almost 6 or 7 years to really start making real good money.
Right.
This lending thing, I've been doing this lending thing since 2016. It's 2025. You know what I'm saying? Now I got the nonprofit, and so now, you know what I'm saying? I'm like I said, now I'm all about building legacy. I'm in the community, but I'm teaching financial literacy now because I took losses.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to learn from someone like me? You know what I'm saying? There's not too many people out here that have a lending platform like LendingTree.
Yeah.
Who's thinking that big? Who wants to have that accountability? Who wants to have them type of employees? Who wants to, have buildings and I had the kiosks in Concord Mills. I'm everywhere. I'm on billboards. No ego, but I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is to make an impact, man, is just, do you want it? And I think that far as, like I say, for younger people, man, it's just get you a mentor. You get somebody that's good at what you want to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is in that area that's good at what you want to be good. You got to get around somebody that's done it, been there. Even if you got to go out there, I'll never forget it. Jermaine Johnson, big shout out to No Grease. Now they got Bob Johnson, the billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Put them in the spectrum. And they did what they did.
Yeah.
Free haircuts.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Twins, man.
Shout out to the Twins.
Shout out to the Twins,
Yeah,
man.
shout out
Definitely,
to the
man.
Twins,
Yeah, that's my boys, man.
Guys,
they
man.
Get,
Always,
they get
man.
to it, man.
Yeah,
And I really look up to them. You know, Jermaine, they amazing. Their energy, man, is like, yo,
They've been the same and solid like that since I was a little kid, man.
yeah, man.
Shout out to them.
And
for
it's
real.
just about getting to it, man, and the integrity. And so I would just say that's where me, man. Get around something that you really want to do, you love, you're passionate about. The money will show up. The money will show up.
That's
so
right.
people will feel your passion.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what people really spend money with people that they like.
They like,
things that
that's
they
true.
like.
That's true.
Yeah, that's real.
Notice that, like,
That's real.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
real.
That's true.
saying?
That's true.
And,
People don't understand. Like, I want to really touch on this. Like, if when you meet somebody, your first impression is everything.
Yeah. Right.
And shaking the hand, looking a person in the eye, how you conduct yourself or whatever. And this generation really has gotten away from that type of situation. And you got to be very careful of who you're around. Prime example, I was somewhere the other day and I was on a rooftop chilling, just, relaxing for a Sunday. And, something happened. I was on the other side. I actually, a guy was in the pool. I moved to the other side of the pool because he was acting a little wild, had a little too much going on. And he mentioned, he said, he's like, yeah, I paid $3,500, for for this lease or whatever. I could act however I want to act or whatever. And me getting older, I don't go towards drama. I move away from it. You know what I'm saying? I moved to the other side. And he still had to mention that he could fight, right? And I didn't even bother him. I was like, I just moved to the other side. But my thing is that he doesn't know who he was around. He doesn't know if he does anything, or he doesn't know. I could have been a VP of something.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And now I know who you are, and seeing if you ever walk yourself in a situation, I'm not vouching for.
Yeah, right.
They always come back too after that.
It's gonna. You're the way you conduct yourself at all times, your integrity and how you move. People are watching at all times, all the time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that it's so important that you understand, and that your youth understand that. The same way that you don't take calls with certain people.
Yeah.
It's real, bro.
That was hard to do, man. For me, I felt like I was like, oh man, what am I doing? Like, that's my boy. That's my, I have to give a big shout out because my mom Dukes, man, she's one of them real ones. Like, how many boys you got? Funny as hell. I know I ain't raised no damn. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. That's my boy. She's like, how many you got?
Everybody ain't your friend.
Right.
Like, come on, what you talking about? You gotta get to it.
You gotta tell them that's my associate sometimes.
Man, you got
My mom broke that down to me early. Hey, all these people ain't your friends. They are
ain't
called
your friends,
associates.
man.
You want to look
They
that
ain't your
word
friends,
up?
man.
When I was a little kid.
I'm
I'm gonna say, like you asked, just to go back off when you asked, what would I tell like a younger entrepreneur? Learn to say no early. I'm gonna just start with that one. It's twofold right now. Learn to say no early.
Yep.
A lot of struggle with that. I did when I first got in the league and got like a real contract, the first real contract. Learn to say no, bro. Once I could tell my mama no, I could tell anybody in the world no. So like, and then the other part is just like piggyback on what you said, like find out who you are and what you really like. That's hard. That's a really hard to do. I didn't know what I was going to I've had a feeling of what I was going to do when I got out of the league, but I didn't know how to get there. In the league, in the union don't teach you that. Nobody will teach you that in that. They getting a check. So learn, say no early. And then also be ready to take some losses and don't quit. No, don't stop. Don't stop though. Like you said, you can't stop when you take. Because like the scary money don't make money thing is real. It ain't just about money with that. You're gonna take some risks. You're gonna have to take some. But also also last part of that, just be calculated as possible. That means being around the right people. Ask questions. Like I wish I had a Marv to be in my corner when I first got that check. Or you get that licensing check for $200,000. Hey, what I need to do with that? Because they gonna tell you just put it in the bank, save, which is cool. But at the same time, if I'd have known what I knew now at 23, we'll be working on maybe 300 million right now, based off the knowledge that I have now. We still gonna get to it one day. But those my things. Learn to say no early. Be calculated, and be ready to take some losses because you always gonna bounce back. You
So,
always
bro-
you gonna
brother-
make more than you lose.
Brother Marvin, I want to touch on you. You're pursuing a degree right now, right?
Yeah, man.
So what is it in?
Yeah, man. It's in metaphysics, bro.
Okay.
Marvin, man. Yeah. If anybody out there that know about the Chicago area, have you heard of a elderly black woman named Johnny Coleman? Johnny Coleman. Like, you ever heard of the motivational speaker Les Brown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yana Van Zant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
A lot of people, man, like, the Obamas, Michelle, the president, all of them sort of was up under her, spoke at her church, learned from her.
Okay.
She was a black lady, but she went to, in a different space. She came up from Mississippi, came up to Chicago.
Okay.
But she started, she had a different philosophy about everything, of course, still came from the Bible, and we believe in God, but we believe that God is in us. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be reaching and begging and looking up at the sky like the slaves. The best thing that God ever did was put himself in you.
Yep.
So that's why everything that come out of your mouth, everything that you think, invisible stuff is so powerful, because that's where God is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't out there. Quit begging and pleading. Get off your knees. Affirm and know. You got to be a knower and get beyond faith. Know. Your word is his word. Where your feet is where God is. Yep. So once I got that and started developing that power, I always felt like my work ethic was strong, but man, wanting to get that mind right, I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, metaphysics, man, what it does, it just takes you to understanding that you're not just this meat suit walking around. You know what I'm saying? You're not just this meat suit walking around and trying to, this don't mean nothing. What did you come here for? You really start going into that doing that personal inventory on yourself. Sit around, get quiet. Whether you smoking a cigar, you chilling, just get quiet sometime, man. Ask yourself some real questions. Like, look at people and be like, man, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you'll start moving different, start talking different, and then your whole paradigm will change. People, places, and things will start showing up. I don't want to make it sound, but people, places, and things will show up for your beckoning call, bro, because you're on your purpose. Because that's what you came here for. So things come easy. It's a rhythm. When things be in a rhythm, because you're here for something.
Right.
Like said, God said he knew you before you was in your mother's womb. What do you think that was? That was awareness, bro. You know what I'm saying? That means you came here for something. Right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? All them sperm cells, you showed up. So you think you ain't here
You
to
a
do
winner.
nothing?
You a winner
Right.
already.
You know what
You a
I'm
winner. You done run the race.
You won.
Yeah.
Come in this joint thinking smart.
Mama
you know
love,
what
you
I'm
won.
saying? So the
great point.
metaphysics is man, I got it, God. If you go to any of my hashtags, is God express, God in us, as us. And I'm always evoking, telling my guys, man, look, I ain't trying to get preachy or nothing like that, man. But look, you got to figure this thing out, man, because this is not history. This is something that was told. But I love my grandmother. You understand? But some things that what she taught, it can't work for me. Because
Gotcha.
my grandmother never had driver's license. She never went anywhere. I went all around the world, man. You know what I'm saying? And so how you gonna have these type of experiences and still come back and be
Same person.
reading
the
that
same.
whole
Yeah.
story? I can't accept that no more.
Right.
It's hard to accept that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
That's real.
So for me, man, what changed all that, bro? When I was in the Navy, man, and I was in Tokyo, man, I had a brother, man. And we went up in the mountains, man, and it was his uncle. I'll never forget it, man. He came out of the hut, bro. It was like, like when you run up on a preacher and they got like that fire, like you be like, you could tell that God's presence is on him.
Yeah.
Man, a little short, man. I couldn't even hardly look at that man, bro. It changed my life because I looked at him, bro. I almost cried because it was like a love energy. The dude didn't even speak English. He had never read a Bible before. So I said to myself, hold on a minute. If I'm feeling this way, this is a whole shift of how I feel about life.
Yeah.
So, and then me being in the military and seeing how people losing their lives, it was a whole mind shift for me. So I couldn't come back. So now I said, okay, well, God, why am I here in the Bible Belt, where people are so conditioned, and people will swear you think that you worship the devil if you say something different, because you can't have your own God down here. You know what I'm saying?
Especially down
you know,
here
it's
in
clicked
Bible.
up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If me and Roy ain't saying, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not going to his church, it's different.
Shots fired right down.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, it's churchy. You know, and I'm nothing against the churches, nothing like that, but it's churchy.
It's real.
So, you know, like I said with my nonprofit, man, once I get this, once I go into this thing and I start really being able to teach people that wants to hear what's really out there. Listen, it's again, when I talk about I'm learning from Johnny Coleman and I'm going to Johnny Coleman Theological Seminary, Metaphysical School, Oprah Winfrey went through this. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm using these names because y'all know I ain't gonna say they money up. But they live in their purpose.
It's awareness.
It's awareness.
It's awareness.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, no. We ain't talking about no Hollywood stuff. I'm talking about this, bro.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? They getting to it. And you really can't get caught up, man, on you know, nothing against, like I said, there's nothing against the preachers and things like that, but I think we got to talk about the living word, not the word of the dead 2,000 years ago. God is alive and he's in you. You know, he can't express himself through you. If you don't, like my mentor said, how you gonna get something from God? You don't even sound like him. You got to talk with power. You know, but if you feel that it's something out there that you're talking to,
that you connected to,
or you feel like you're not worthy, you're not going to get it. If you can't see yourself in that 5,000 square foot house, you're not going to get it. That's everything. It's basic. So that's the metaphysics for me, brother. I'm living that, man. I'm an OG now, 53. So it's like I feel like I'm starting to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So not to say right or wrong or whoever moving, but I really feel like, you know, you really need to start tapping in and really start saying, okay, what's really working for me and what's not.
Right.
That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? You know, and if it's not working, you might want to be a little bit open-minded to some other things.
That's real, because like you know, you 53, and you know, I tell people a lot, because you know, we come into success really early and money really early. I mean, I play in the league, but you know that don't last. I invested well for the most part, and it's like, man, it's not about the money. I want to elaborate on something that you touched on earlier. Both of y'all actually. It's like the purpose is. I realized I was like, how I was so passionate about basketball. Got to the point I wouldn't even open my checks. I know where it's going. I know how much money coming out of it with taxes. But I'm worried about the game of basketball. Like that's my first love before a girl. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to find that kind of passion in your purpose after that. And I told you a little bit. We'll talk about it in another episode with me and my business partner working on right now. And he was really good.
Yeah,
he was really and we really talked about that, and we broke it down like you broke it down. Where it's like I'm passionate about something, super passionate. It ain't gonna never be like basketball, but I'm super passionate about what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward, that's very important.
That's man.
Real.
And you know, I wanted to definitely bring up with that though, man. So that's why now, bro, with the Nonprofit Wisdom Foundation, my first year, bro. The reason why people like Marvin, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not Anthony Morrow. I didn't make it to the league. I didn't play ball, but what I did see going, and I want to just touch real quick, CIAA, when I saw how the whole morale of what the city made, and then going to the NBA All-Star game and doing the parties out there. And like I said, we was doing parties everywhere. But I wanted to bring something back to the sport of basketball. And I call my program The Business of Basketball. Me and Ant was talking about that. So it's like I want to like before, and I'm glad I'm sitting with a brother that can concur, can agree with me. When you get in them rooms, it's not like you bait. But once you start signing them contracts, you're on the other side. It ain't no coming back from that. So why can't we get on some of this NIL deals?
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
Why can't we bring resources to these men? We know they nice at night. Like Ant said, I can look at a kid at 8th, 9th grade. I already know he's gonna be nice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if we can't go to him with and I'm gonna say it, with a bag or an opportunity.
Yeah.
So by the time they get over there, by the time they get to Duke or Carolina, it's over.
They're on the other side.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to bring that. I'm trying to bring a lot of the resources. My first one last year, man. Queen. Big shout out to Queen City News that came out. We made the news. Big shout out to the Bowie family. We talked about Torres, Marcus Kerr's mom. They lit it up. And it was a big thing because I was like, okay, first I wanted to let him know, like, no, it's not about what's on the court, but what I did, man, I took them to 105.3. I took them to the news. I let these guys really go because these were nice basketball players. Like these guys done signed with like this guy done signed with Clutch already. Like he's with LeBron, Rich Paul. And he was just in my event a few months ago. He was 16.
Right.
So, but what I wanted them to see is what they haven't got, man. These are high school guys that's about to sign big contracts. I took them to the radio station so we can do what we're doing now, so we can really have a real interview in a radio station, in the studio. They had never done that before.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That was great for us.
I had to get the credibility of the parents because they're like, oh, he trying to, no. I brought NIL because there was a lot of kids that came, and then there were kids that played. Of course, there were two big superstars in the game, but I brought NIL agents from Atlanta. I brought an NIL attorney, right? I brought Robert Brickey. I brought a couple cats, old school cats from Duke University. Robert Brickey was the dude. He was like Jordan back in the day. Robert Brickey. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Robert. I talked to them this morning.
No doubt.
But and I'm bringing resources people didn't know. I'm like all these high school students and all these people in basketball. Nobody knew that corporate headquarters, JUCO is corporate, and the headquarters is in Charlotte. Nobody knew that JUCO was here. I bring Mr. Givens, big shout out to Andrew. He's like, Marv, he's like, we got almost 70,000 schools. Eligibility. Do y'all know we're here in Charlotte? So I said, no, God, it was for me to bring it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Anthony, we can do all that in the AU and all that. Man, bring some resources and put them around these kids so they can talk real rap to people, man. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So that's where we at with that, bro. Business of basketball, man. I'm looking forward to it. We're trying to do some things this year going into 2026. I want to definitely help my man. I want to holler at him.
We gonna holler.
You know what I'm saying?
We
We got some banks on our side.
Right, no doubt.
I'm in banking. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I ain't playing no games. So you know what I'm saying. So, but it's for the youth, man. It's for the kids.
Well,
man.
I'm gonna tell you something. So we're gonna wrap it up. We went over time. Mama Love looking like I'm crazy.
They walking here like they about to get on camera. Like, what's happening?
But now, parting words before you get off. But like I want to tell you, it was like this is informational. We never have enough time to get into.
Always part twos.
But I want to tell you. I want to thank you for coming on and blessing my platform with your information, your knowledge, and your energy. Because a lot of people need it. And I'm very humble for you to be here.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, bro.
Definitely.
I'm gonna keep it real. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was refreshing as always, man. We all come in, guys like you and Clyde.
Yeah.
Antoine Scott and those guys. Like,
Yeah.
I really needed that as well. So I learned when I come in here that we can give knowledge out to the people. So it's very important that we receive that knowledge and give it out.
Thanks for being on, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it, man. Big shout out to everybody that's working with me, my board, my nonprofit board, Kathleen, John, Mr. Givens, big shout out to Johnson C. Smith, assistant coach Mr. Parks, You know, there's just a lot of people that's been around me, man, see the vision and making this thing go, bro. So I appreciate you guys having me on here, man.
Thank you for
No
being
doubt.
on.
Thank
I
you.
want to,
Yeah.
before I get off, I do want to say one thing. I lost one of my close friends on Tuesday. His name is Gerard Black. He died at 45 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
One of my close friends in Morgan State. So I just want to, say, I love you, I miss you, and I wanted to give you, I'm gonna miss being around you and everything else. But I want to tell you that the years we spent together as friends and brothers at Morgan can't be replaced. If you, I just want to, just give you that, say I miss you, G.
Yeah.
So that's one to tell you.
Praying for you, bro.
Yeah.
God bless.
Shout out, end of the episode, we good. It's a wrap.
Peace.
Peace.
We gotta take pictures outside.